Welcome everybody to these talks, to the YouTube channel. My name is James Middleton. If you're a patient seeking information about the clinical experience, practice, or what is traditional Chinese medicine, and while there is plenty of reference in these talks, I would rather point you as a first port of call to the jamesmiddleton.net website. This site is dedicated to patient explanation and education about medical treatment and to anybody reaching out for the first time. Nowhere else for this purpose is an introduction any better. So read the site first. Because these YouTube talks are directed towards education regarding the art of living, holistic health, and the secrets of health, happiness, and long life, and to offer the Western reader a glimpse of the ancient and unbroken knowledge of Chinese scholars from time immemorial. And this knowledge is from the oldest and predominantly civilized culture on Earth. These talks are predominantly in support of the book The Nature Tao Lectures, China's Legacy to a New World, Secrets of Health, Happiness, and Long Life. The 31 lectures were presented to the graduate students of the Academy of Traditional Chinese Medicine, Australia. It is a rare and precious masterwork, displaying the voice of a master healer, philosopher, and educator. Many great works exist, and these remain through time as a record testifying to human insight, and most serve to educate growth beyond base behaviours, fight or flight, survival of the fittest or the dominant, or to offer respite and or healing for the battle-scarred warriors of any field, weary of the mundane repetition of unnecessary human suffering. My great enthusiasm from a younger age was to read many of these works, to study and practice medicine, and to read philosophy with authentic teachers, now for 40 years. I believe the Nature Tao Lectures by Professor Wong Lun, Order of Australia Medal for Services to Chinese Medicine in Australia, is one of these works. Professor often stated that China had something very, very special to offer the world that would uplift the whole world. And this is that knowledge. This book is a reference text for the vocabulary of Chinese thought. It is a storybook offering the reader a glimpse of major beliefs, events, and timelines in Chinese history. It is a book that presents ancient and tested precepts towards long, healthy, and happy lives, prized in the old culture. It offers education regarding the separate parts that form the totality of the whole person and how these exist in relationship to greater nature. It offers context and nuance regarding the major streams of practical, medical, philosophical, religious, and spiritual thought that has pervaded Chinese culture throughout her history. It offers first-hand the extraordinary experience of a master healer of traditional Chinese medicine after 60 years of clinical practice, utilizing the tools and wisdom passed from the old world. We glimpse the literary depth of Chinese philosophy and traditional Chinese medicine, including remarkable explanations regarding the causes of disease and relationship of the internal organs, external body, and functional and energetic systems to each other. We hear about sublime insights into aspects of life little known or understood outside of rarefied schools, but completely understood within these schools. We hear practical precepts regarding school education, gaining a wholesome character, success in family and groups, creating a successful society, physical health and maintaining health and happiness into older age. Precepts of Great Age. The book presents a precise instruction manual for correct meditation technique for both basic and advanced practice. Also, the variety of self-massage and self-healing methods and the principles of wisdom knowledge employed in the Taoist, Confucian, Buddhist, and martial medical arts self-cultivation traditions. What is the art of living? I have a physical body that expresses a finite existence in a physical material world. I display mental and emotional characteristics that move and change according to circumstance. I would definitely prefer to be healthy and happy. I would definitely prefer to access the finer qualities of a human heart and to be successful regardless of being exalted or modest of birth or life station. Where found is the body of wisdom knowledge relating to these subjects. Chinese scholars have addressed these issues of ordinary life and declared the study of Tao, nature Tao, the way of the great cycle of life, to be the foundation of Chinese culture. The well-being of people, the way to harmonize with greater nature, the way to harmonize and balance the changing polarities of our experience in relationship with other people, success in groups, and society are cornerstones of nature Tao study. People are not only physical entities, but mental, emotional, and spiritual beings as well. The ancients state that physical health is inexorably linked to mental, emotional, and spiritual states, our inner states, thus leading to inquire the way to cultivate the finest qualities of human nature. The authentic human nature, which is beyond base or vice nature. What thoughts, speech, and action nurtures or educates towards a finer expression of their character, once gained to pass it on to the next generation. The nature Tao is the study of life and the study of our relationships with nature and time. We must reach for a higher mind. We must raise the level of our awareness. We must reach for a finer level of being. We have to reach for a level of transformation that enables us to lift out of base character. We must lift ourselves to our natural potential, or risk falling into patterns that return us to brutality as a norm and the advent of widespread suffering. Great beings from any age of history state unnecessary suffering, and there is so much unnecessary suffering in our age and the age that's just recently been. Think of the statesmen that existed, the geopolitical statesmen that existed before the First World War, and think about their relationships to each other and how they allowed such a cataclysm to occur. Does anybody really think that those statesmen, if they knew the results of their actions and their policies, if they knew the results at the end of the First, which led to the Second World War, would really have behaved or created the same policies? I don't think so. This is why the great beings from any age of history state that unnecessary suffering is caused by ignorance of a better way. And this book, this work, the work of a lifetime for Professor Wong, is offered in the service of this statement: unnecessary suffering is caused by ignorance of a better way. So I commend this work to you, and I ask you to take it to your heart, to read it, and judge for yourself, and present the music contained within to the Western world. Thank you very much for listening, and we'll see you soon.